Hey, I just wanted to share a few things that I've been learning about recently from um, third-party sources plus some of my mentors regarding protein and muscle, skeletal muscle, and the importance of skeletal muscle in preserving and maintaining long-term health. So it's something we don't often think about, and sometimes we get very caught up in weight loss and think about getting to a healthy weight, which is very important. But another factor to consider is our muscle and how we conserve our muscle and even increase our muscle, and why it's linked to long-term health and long-term weight loss and keeping a healthy weight. So some of the things that so I'm going to share a podcast that's really, really good. I really encourage you to listen to it. It's by Ed Milet, so I'm going to drop that in here. But I wanted to share a few things. Um, so often when people do a diet, quote unquote diet, they will lose up to 20% of their um, or over 20% of their weight loss is muscle. But with Optavia, they've done studies, and that's typically 4%. So thankfully, what the program you're doing, you're preserving a lot of the muscle because we focus so much on high protein. And that is a big drawback to people who just do, quote unquote, diets on their own because they're not getting the proper nutrition to conserve that muscle. And the other thing about it is, when you consider people doing the medical weight loss, if you've heard of that, so there's these drugs that help people lose muscle, or sorry, lose weight. And the effects that that's having on body composition, they are losing 60% more more of muscle mass. So that's really crazy. And so that's why these active products that are essential amino acids and our whey protein is so important for long-term health. So for those who are right now in the weight loss phase, the EAAs, that is really, really going to help you continue losing weight and maintaining your muscle mass. Um, and then for those who are transitioning, you also have that whey protein that you can utilize in addition to that. And um, so I wanted to share that and just, sorry, I had to pause for a second. Anyway, the other thing about considering long-term health is if you haven't added in exercise or resistance training, that's also an essential part. Um, our mentor was talking about one of the coaches who went and got an in-body scan, and that's how they tell your muscle and then your body fat. Like, that's a really accurate way to figure it out. Sometimes scales will tell you, but they're not that accurate. So anyway, and she found out, she's been at a healthy weight for a long time, but she was actually really high in body fat. It was like 30 something percent because she didn't exercise. And so that's another, if you're struggling being motivated to exercise, that is a huge consideration. If we're not exercising, we're not gaining muscle, doing resistance training, we can be at a risk of being in a higher body fat percentage, and we might not even realize it. So that's just my little plug for exercise. So if you're not doing it currently, please, just start incorporating small things into your daily routine. That's what I do. And just over, time, you just keep increasing, adding to it, adding a little more resistance so that your body doesn't get stagnant. So for me, taking the EAAs, I've been taking them since they came out to coaches, and I can tell a huge difference with my muscle mass. I've actually gained weight, which is good for me because I was at a very, very low weight. It wasn't bad, but I know that my muscle mass wasn't where it could have been. And that skeletal muscle, if you listen to that podcast, you'll understand why it's so important. So I just wanted to share that. I hope this is helpful. Sometimes we get caught up in just thinking about weight and the number and, but like thinking about protein. This is why Optavia has us covered. They are really setting us up for long term health, with the active products, because this muscle preservation and increasing muscle mass, healthy skeletal muscle is so important. It's such a huge piece of the puzzle. So anyway, there is the webinar that I just shared, that Amber and Jared are doing. I'm also doing one in my home. So if you're local, I'll be doing that. I haven't planned the exact date, but I'll be doing that soon. So I highly, highly encourage that. Jared and Amber know so much about this topic, and I know you'll find a ton of value from it. So just wanted to encourage you for that. If reach out if you have any questions, but hope to talk to you soon.